Area 88. Where do I begin? I guess my history for this game starts, I think I was 12 or 13, and I was visiting my cousin for summer vacation. My family does that at least every other summer. And, we were bored at the time. I didn't bring my Super Nintendo down that year. And we were just browsing. I was just browsing through the games that my uncle had picked up, because he every now and then he goes to this pawn shop and he picks up cheap and used games. He still does that to this day. He gets a lot of cheap stuff there, a lot of good cheap stuff. And one of the games in the collection was Area 88. Now, I had not read any reviews. I didn't even know that this game existed. So, I put it in there, and I started playing it, and I was, it's very hard for me to take you back to that moment. All I can really do is show you a few videos and screenshots, but the graphics, even now when I look at it, they had some of that scrolling going on. The environments were very detailed. I'll talk about more of that in the video, but I was just like, wow. And it was 2-player. So I got my cousin, he was around I think 8 or 9 at the time, and we just started playing it. And we were hooked on that game at least for a week or two during the summer. And I never forgot that game. Now, I think I want to say around 2 to 3 years ago, I found out that that game was actually tied to this anime, which the anime is based off of a manga. I recently found that out, but the anime is actually a very good anime. It's a drama. It's not so much action packed, but it's a very deep story. I actually, for all the anime fans out there, I recommend that anime. But they made a new version of it, I think in 2005, I can't remember. But this new version, I watched a few episodes of it. It really doesn't capture the essence of the original anime. To go on a whole nother spiel about anime in general, but wow, sorry. But anyway, let me go ahead and cut to the video so you guys can.
Now, you would have to have watched the anime to really appreciate this intro. Of course, it just looked cool back when me and my cousin first played it. Now, at the character select screen, again, the anime goes into detail who these characters are. And this grid screen the game actually has strategy elements into it. Now each airplane that you see here, they all have different special abilities. Some of them can use weapons that other planes can't. Some of them are faster, etc. The weapons select screen right here. Depending on the stage you pick, you need to choose your weapons wisely. A lot of it you pretty much learn as you go, though. Now, I'd like to point out the music in this game is awesome. The music and the sound effects. You couldn't really ask for much better. Now, I don't know much about the arcade version, but just from the Super Nintendo version alone, the music and the sound effects, excellent. This is the first stage. If you should get an idea of how hard the game is going to be just based off of the first stage alone. Again, the details of the helicopters, the airplanes, the patterns. I mean, this game doesn't give a crap. It's hard. Now the bosses, Even the first boss, he's going to be hard if you never played the game before. And even now, I went back and started playing it. It was giving me trouble. But the bosses in the game, I mean, they're interesting. They're all different. And if you watch the anime, which I didn't know the first time I played it, some of the bosses actually are linked to the anime, as I'll show you later. One cool thing about the game is that when you get hit, you don't instantly die unless you continually get hit. I really like that because this boss right here is just a pain. The more enemies you kill, the more money you earn. That's also directly linked to the anime. You'd have to watch the anime to understand more the dynamics that that's involved with. But of course, as you earn money, you can buy plane upgrades, etc. Also, I like the cool little animation that your character makes when he gets hit. I always thought that was funny. And as you can see here, I've upgraded my plane so I can go ahead and take this guy out. Again, the graphics, the animation, the sound effects. Now, this is only the second boss. I don't know if you guys are really paying attention. I don't even find Gradius 3 this difficult, at least not the second boss. Now, I could just be rusty, but and these guys right here now, there's 3 black characters in the anime, and they're I'm pretty sure that's where those bosses come from. Now, the stage design, again, there's a whole variety of different stages in this game. I can only show you a little bit in here. There's 2 that you've already seen right here. And this video doesn't really do justice of how, how nice the stages look. But the stages are interesting. You won't be bored, and you'll probably get overwhelmed at times because you won't know sometimes what you can do, what you can run into. Like in this stage, for instance, the trees. I mean, you won't know if you can actually fly down there and get hit by them and die, and that you can actually shoot them out. Notice the backgrounds, the scrolling. In this stage, the enemies actually will lock onto you, fly behind you, and shoot missiles at you. A lot of the enemy patterns change later on in the game. Of course, you can get missiles and fire back at them as well. You have to upgrade your airplane, of course. This game has one of the coolest bonus stages. It's basically a bombing run. If you watch the anime, you'll understand more about that. But I mean, just look at that. Look at the details of the graphics, the background. I love how the plane turns around midair. I mean, the attention to detail, little stuff like that, really makes this game. I probably should have picked the bombs in this stage. Would have made it a lot easier. Now, if an enemy ship or enemy base gets too close, this little warning thing will go off. Now, I think I might have mentioned it earlier, but you need to pay attention to the grid here, because the enemy is constantly moving forward to your base. Again, the anime explains these details even more. Now, you can choose which levels you want to attack first. But if you fail to destroy the enemy, they continue to advance forward, and they soon become a threat to your home base. You can use this to your advantage, or it can become a disadvantage. Like as you advance forward, new bonus stages appear which allow you to earn more money and get more ship upgrades. I don't know if mini games do this anymore, but the pause jingle in this game is awesome. I miss that about some of the old school games, a little pause jingle. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my little history with Area 88 or UN Squadron in the US.